Recording in progress.
All right.
Welcome everyone to our team meeting. Thank you for coming. It is a great spring out there.
It's summer.
It's summer? Welcome to everyone online. Please silence your cell phones. Make sure you have don't leave stuff in the refrigerator after Friday, or they will get thrown out. Respectful conference rooms. Yes, you know who you are, Luke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the conference rooms you're looking for.
Your quicker, maybe out of battery, I don't know.
All right. On-time drum, Monty!
Monty!
Here.
Let's see what I got here.
With Guild Mortgage, we got a nice on-time. What do you got?
Target.
A
Perfect.
$25 gift card to Target.
I'll take it.
You can buy everything there, right?
It's
They have formula?
We got. You want to
I
see?
think they got formula.
Yeah. Say something.
They got formula.
I'm not a big products guy. I mean, I've been in this business for a long time. I believe in figuring out what it takes to help people achieve their goals for home ownership. But check it out, man. We know the inventory is low, right? Is it still low?
Yes.
Still low. And we know there's sellers out there that have been living in homes which they could sell, but they won't. Why won't they sell? Because they don't know where they'll buy. And the other thing is they can't write contingent offers because they won't get accepted. We got a bridge loan that's dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Listen, 720 credit score though. As long as you're putting 20% down on the homes you're buying, right? We give them the bridge loan, no payment to qualify for the purchase. No payment on their existing home to qualify to purchase. So literally, we pre-approve them to buy the new house. You get a listing agreement or a contract on the house they live in. We give them the money to buy the new house, then they sell their house. And they don't have the right contingent.
How long is the timeline to sell?
Well, basically, it's a 6-month loan.
Okay.
Okay.
6-month loan, interest only. The rate is like, I think, 4.95 to 6.75, depending on the profile. I mean, interest only 6 months. The big thing is, most of those programs, you got to qualify for the house you live in, plus the house you're buying, plus a bridge loan. That's the traditional bridge loan. That's why nobody hears about them, because very few people can qualify for all 3 mortgage payments, right? Typically what we do in that scenario, we tell that person, okay, don't list your house. You're gonna have to pull a line of credit out of that house, right? We're gonna call it a rental, and after you buy another house, then you can think about selling. But you don't have to do that. Literally, they can qualify to buy a new house, write a non-contingent offer. This is Guild money. That's how they're doing it. That's why they're not qualifying. Guild says we're going to put some money aside for these bridge loans. That's a pretty hot product, guys. And even just to go back to your folks who been living in their home for 7 years, may want to sell, that's just a great way to approach them. Even if they don't use that product, it's just another great avenue to use. So I got flyers on that.
Is there a limit to the amount of the loan?
$300,000.
Thank you.
Minimum of $40,000.
Minimum of 40.
Okay. Tomorrow I'm doing a lunch and learn in my office around the corner. Mortgage 101. It's just enough to make you a little bit dangerous on understanding the mortgage industry, understanding some of the programs, what it takes for people to qualify. 12 o'clock around the corner. You got to let me know if you're going to come, so I got enough food for everybody. Okay. It's 12:1. So I'll leave these flyers back there somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. On the table.
All right, I'll leave them on the table. You guys can go ahead and grab one, but just let me know or email the office if you plan to attend the event tomorrow. And if you got more questions on the bridge, let me know.
That's a pretty dope program. Yes, I mean, I think we did hit our database.
Thank you, Monty.
Monty.
Like
You got
a
it.
digital
Yep.
form? You do?
I can even do a
All right,
co-brand.
Monty. You got to choose this.
Oh, I get to choose?
You have to choose.
Pick me.
Okay,
You know who your friend is, right? Who your friend?
He's like, Aaliyah.
Not your friend.
Byron Hendrick.
Byron!
You even last week.
How's
There
that?
you go.
Yeah,
And that photo was a few years.
Hey, we're going to, if we go to Thunder Valley.
Tell me something good. It's a good time.
So I brought a couple of friends with me real quick. I just
Be
wanted
quiet, please.
to let you guys know they're from Next New Home. They have some really cool infill projects in Rivers in West Sacramento and also in Rockland. They are offering 2.5% to all of us agents. And so at the price points that their homes are selling at, that's at least a $20,000 commission. So if you have any people who are looking for some really beautiful homes, let them know. I'm just going to have them talk real quick.
Hi, I'm Noreen. This is my counterpart, Carrie. She's in the Rivers. I'm in West Roseville. And this Friday, please come. Happy hour. Beautiful wines, crafted cocktails. We're going to show you how easy it is to work with new homes. So come on over. I got flyers. Thank you.
4 to 6 on Friday.
4 to 6 on
Cocktails.
Friday.
I know
Put
you
the
guys like
flyers
cocktails.
back there.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anyone else have something good?
Yeah,
I got.
Oh, you go. You
Want
go.
me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 years ago, I met this guy at a meetup, one of those, real estate wholesale kind of thing, right? His name's Steve Williams. And today, he had a fourplex that he had a lease option to buy on. We got him the loan, pay it off, it listed it, 14-day close. It closes today.
Now,
5 years.
Woo! 5 years.
All right, announcement. National Hispanic Organization of Real Estate Associates has tomorrow a free event for everybody in the community. It's a mental health symposium. We all need to hear sometimes like how to handle the load we take on every day and do it with some tips on how to keep mental health up. So that is free. It's from 6 to 8 o'clock tomorrow, and it's open. So I have details. It's at SARS. So you know where that's 2,000 free health.
Yep.
Tomorrow, 6 to 8.
Awesome. Richard.
I do.
Audrey and I, we did our second time of dialing for dollars this morning. The office offered $100 if we could get 10 other agents out here to get in here making calls and actually start building their business. We had one agent show up. She stayed the whole time. She made 11 contacts, 2 follow-up appointments. Danielle Marquez, I want to shout out to her for showing up. There she is. Great job. The office, we're not going to award you $100, but we are going to give you a $20 Starbucks gift card for tearing it up. Thank you for showing up. Great job.
That's it.
Yeah, so I just had put on the market last week, got 6 offers on it, closing in 14 days on an all-cash offer.
Nice.
So,
They still out there, bro.
yeah.
They still
Yeah,
out
they
there.
are.
I want to say something. No one else says it? So sorry, I have to get my phone here. I'm gonna show you. A lot of people know this already, but I've been doing our intentional journal, which is making intentions. One of my intentions is working with my daughter. I've had a tough relationship with my daughter. Very go-getter kind of guys, and she's kind of like, so kind of shy and has anxiety about stuff. And so I was like, we didn't get along. But I've been working on my relationship. So I've been very intentional about relationship and working on it. And she just texted me the other day. And I just want to say it. I says, I know I'm hard and I don't really say a lot, but thank you for everything you do for me. Even though we've had moments, you've always been my biggest ally and advocate for my goals and dreams. I truly mean it when I say I love you. I couldn't have asked for a better father.
Just something good. Give a shout
Give something, Bobby.
out for John, our broker, man. He's been crushing it on this mediation deal that Afton and I have had. The whirl of headaches.
Thank
And I think you got it kind of squared away.
So we're going to close, right?
In court or in mediation a couple days ago, all types of lawyers on it. And appreciate all your help on that.
So
I put him in retirement and the broker role.
I'm retiring the broker with Bruce.
All those final gray hairs.
And I told Bruce, I was like, hey man, I got to pull this back. We're in the middle of it. It's like going to mediation. So I was like, I'll take care of this. And I'm like, man, this is like a bear and a half, right?
Yeah.
This is like the worst thing I've had in a long time.
That was real complicated.
But we're getting it closed. We're closing it.
Yeah, we're getting paid.
We're getting paid to close. So
I asked Afton, how's Highland going? I have no idea. Awesome.
I just call it. I was like, hey, we're giving some of your commission to the sellers. Okay, yeah. Close now.
Take some.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Bob. Anyone else? Yes. Who was at Red Day? How was that? Was that awesome? I had a lot of fun. So I even burned some fingers with Mr. Lansing on the barbecue. That was really gross. Still a little.
So if you had a hot dog,
Yeah. My finger doesn't feel right. Yeah. That's okay. All right. Where's the music?
music.
Don't make her get mad.
There we go.
The stuff that you got done today, this would have taken us weeks without your support and your expertise. Some of the things that you got done today, we don't have anybody on our staff with that skill set. And so some of you have talked about coming back. I will remember your names. Find you, but it's so great to have had this day of work so we can get back to the business of being reopened for our community.
That was an awesome Red Day. A lot of I was tired. That's unfortunate. Well, we want to do a special thanks to our sponsors. So Monty, thank you. Chicago, Stewart, Fidelity, Enhanced, First American, Cap City Mortgage, Placer Title, First American, Geico. Thank you, everyone. Our sponsors, they helped us. And also Money, we want to congratulate Money. Money is actually, I don't know if you know him, but he owns a bunch of businesses, including pizza. And he's agreed to do ice cream and pizza party.
All right.
So congratulations, thank you, Money, for that donation. Also, our culture committee, I must say that was one of the smoothest culture Red Days we've had, just because the culture committee stepped up and did a lot of the work, right? So thank you to Shirley, Francine, Cece, and Raul, thank you very much for leading the culture committee. You guys did a great job. All right. We got a new capper.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Whoa, Winnie.
Congratulations, Farm Apple.
About 18 days.
18, so Parma set the new record at 18 days. It was 29 days Parm before, so she upped herself. Bobby's, I think, 31 or 30. So you can,
Okay.
if you want 18, if you want to be, you got to get 18. So
No pressure.
no pressure, no pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, right? No pressure to diamonds. So, congratulations to Parm.
great job, Brian.
New listings coming soon. They're also posted on the website, on their Facebook interior group page. So please find the listings you want in there. It's time to pitch your listings.
All right, hang on.
Mr. Rich.
Thank you. Starting tomorrow, 24 Sabre Court will be live. We have a couple open houses this weekend. It is a 4-bedroom with an office. There's a full bed and bathroom downstairs for the in-laws. If you have someone living with you, it's over 2,600 square feet, low maintenance backyard. It is on a cul-de-sac. That goes live tomorrow. We have 7430 Circle Parkway. That's a 3-2 with a converted garage. That's going to go live next week. And then we have our off-market that I posted on Facebook the other day. It's 544 Dry Creek Road, 95838. It's actually a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, over 1,300 square feet. It is on just over 3 acres. They do have a lease possibly in place with farmers that use that equipment, but it does light industrial use. So if you have anybody.
Yeah, our tenants have been using it as a work facility, as a business.
That one's off market. They want about 550.
But 550.
Starting bid 550. Go ahead. Anyways, that's our off market property. So I posted a couple pictures on the Facebook page. If you like the driveway.
If you have contractors, trucking clients, those would be ideal. A lot of space, 4-car garage, 4-car garage,
Yeah,
as well as
workshop.
additional office space.
Yeah.
Lots of land, right? So
Lots of land.
and it's already
Off the
zoned to
driveway.
handle your business, so you can go park trucks there. And
Where is
all.
it, Rich?
It's 544 Dry Creek, 9583.
It's Sacramento
Oh, I know,
address,
I know.
almost to Rio Linda.
I know where it
It's
is.
behind the
I know
school there.
similar where it is.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Picture listings? No one else listening?
Yeah, we go.
All right, Bobby.
So we have a 2-bed, 1-bath. Tomorrow, it's on 39th Avenue, 4720 39th Avenue. 330,000, so pretty affordable, big lot, updated kitchen, newer floors, paint. Like I said, it'll be going on tomorrow. 330,000, pretty affordable.
Where's it?
39th Ave. And
39th
South
Ave.
Sac,
South
924. Yeah.
What was that address?
4720 39th Ave.
Anyone else?
I got some,
Right.
so they're gonna be coming up in the next couple weeks. I got one in the 95838 on almost half an acre. It's about 1,400 square feet. We're gonna go on the market right around 475. The home needs a little bit of love, but great potential there. I have another one at 895 coming up in Alberta on 2 acres, has a 4,000 square feet shop. So if you have like a mechanic client who wants to let go of their lease and then, run their business from their home, it's off of Baseline. And then I have one in West Sac coming up in the next couple. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square feet. It's like a 1910 Victorian style. We're gonna go on the market right around, we're still discussing, 450 to 475 is where we're gonna hit the market.
How many bedrooms was that?
What's that?
How many bedrooms was
Which one?
that?
West Sac was 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The Alberta home is almost 2,000 square feet. And then the one in the 95838 is like 1,400 square feet.
Anyone else? All right. I do want to know, I don't know if you know, but Eternity and JBRG next to each other.
We're merging.
No, we're not merging.
Oh.
Darn it!
But there's a healthy competition going on about who's going to win this year for most closings. So
I didn't know about this competition.
it's on. It's on. You know about it.
All right, we're gonna close it now.
So you want to join in?
I didn't see you guys this morning.
They're in the lead. I think they're in the lead by a few tracks.
It's okay. We're just getting started. I'm not even.
Us too.
I'm not even.
Us too.
Just go with my question.
Just closed from May 11th till May 17th. Congratulations to Matt Wall, 9 closes. That's why she caps in 18 days. 9 closes. Eternity 2. Congratulations. Jose 2. Michael Taylor 1. Jacqueline, Jorge, Chris, Leon, Shirley, Whitney. Congratulations on all your closes. We couldn't do our mortgage minutes, so Kristen has done a video for you.
Oh.
Oh, hey there. Hope you're getting ready for my loans class. May 26th. Oh, hey there. Hope you're getting ready for my loan class. Oh, hey there. I hope you're getting ready for my loans class. It's May 26th at 11:15. I know you've written it on your calendar in pen, but I wanted to offer you a personal invitation again because you're going to learn so many things about the loaning. And lending.
Already we
We're
are.
going to do the hey there again.
Okay. My loans class. Okay.
Thank you, Kristen. We have a long class coming out. If you like this end, let's go. Whoa! What did you do?
That was me.
Oh, hey. How am I getting dizzy?
Okay.
There we are.
Right here.
All right, Carnegie.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get the camera set up. One second.
Okay.
All right, do that. All right, real quick, wanted to throw some numbers up for you guys, tell a little story about what's been going on in our office, kind of cool. So 35%, that was the percentage of our closings last year, this time that were listings, okay, 35%.
So we were very buyer heavy, and so we made a concerted effort to be more listing heavy as an office.
My clicker don't work.
Oh,
I did it for myself. All right, try that. 41% of closings this year were listings so far. Okay, okay. Now, what does that mean? What has that done for us? 2.3 was your average commission percentage last year this time.
That made me cry because that means all of you were listing at low commissions.
This is just all
I know,
closings.
stop,
All
stop,
closings.
stop. Okay.
So because we're buyer heavy, this is a little closer to that 2 mark, right? This is what we're at right now. This year,
Yeah.
0.6, okay? So it may not look like much, right? 0.3%, okay? Right? Well, let's see what that does for us. So there's our average sale price this year, year to date.
Average.
Average sale price, right? There's the difference, so the 0.3% we talked about. That is, on average, an extra $1,755 per commission.
Per commission.
Okay? Now, what does that mean for the entire office for this year so far? There's an extra $500,000 in commission you guys earn because of increases in listings.
Hey.
Wow.
No, increase in listing commissions.
Well,
Yeah.
the listing commission, but because we're taking more listings and that's getting closer to that 50-50 mark, the average commission is going up, right?
And the reason we push listings and we do a lot of listing classes and things like that is because we know listings control the market, right? You know, if you get a listing in this market, you're basically guaranteed a commission check, right? So you want to get those listings in. Congrats, these guys are doing it. So
4 months.
4 months.
4 months.
Extra $550,000 to you in 4 months. So,
We the bomb.
Anyways, there you go.
yeah.
And nobody else is agreeing. Why y'all so
Yeah,
quiet?
you
Come
agree.
on. Like,
2.6%. Trust me, I was beating my head trying to move that number on you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I went to Landon, I'm like, dude, stop listening at 4, okay? So stop. You're bringing down the whole average, stop it. No, that was a joke.
Yeah, but it's true.
Okay. Has anyone booked their open house opportunity?
There's been a few.
Danielle?
Oh, is Danielle the MVP again?
We have a list of open houses on the hub that that are vacant and rehab that you can open house by just signing a 2-hour notice and go to the open house. You don't have to call anybody, harsh anybody, but it's there. So
They're vacant.
and they're vacant. And it's on our website, and you can just go in and sign up.
if you were here on Monday at 10 o'clock, well, about 10:07, I think we started, went over how to procure open houses. Yesterday, the Triple J's, Jenny, Jose, and Jonathan, they did their open house clinic on Friday at 10 o'clock. Vince and Heather will be doing the lead generation follow-up for those open houses. If you'd like any tips and tricks, I would recommend going.
So what other brokers do you know is handing you 20 rehab vacant listings to open house at any time you want?
John, I haven't seen one.
I ain't been with one that is.
There you go. So it's all here. You just gotta like go to the hub and sign up. You guys are like, so if I hear anybody say, I can't find an open house, I'm gonna come slap you. Okay, so
No.
straight up, straight up. I know.
I have a question on that, John.
What's that?
Let's say I were to schedule an open house for the weekend. It's an open door house. They go into escrow on Friday. Do my open houses get canceled?
We monitor that daily. So we will let you know if something goes into contract and you can't do it, but we will say, this is in contract. These are the 7 other open homes that are still available. Would you like one of these?
Oh.
So we monitor that daily. We only ask for 72-hour notice. We check that we approve those at 4 o'clock every day. Every weekday, as long as you give 72-hour notice, you can do them on weekdays. We don't care. So you can line up all weekend. You can say, I want this one and this one on Saturday and this one on Sunday. We don't care. So as long as we do it.
So this is all being controlled by Joe Iucci, and prices and status subject to change at any given time. So it's, do what you can. Obviously, know the price before going to the home in case it dropped in between the time you booked it and the time you go. But yeah, just keep yourself updated on the house itself once you book it.
Yeah, and if you look on the list, if they did a recent price reduction, it'll be in green.
And they got told the right.
Yeah, and there's guidelines in there. You'll see them to do it. We'll ask for feedback. If you don't give us feedback off listening and do the things, then we will blacklist.
John, is there a minimum open house period, number of hours?
I think we were asking at least 2. But
The reason I ask, and I don't know if it's still a thing, but back in the day, we used to try to hold open houses like 5 to 7 this time of year.
Sounds like a strategy, Bruce.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody hear that?
I'll tell you, I did a bold 100 on an open house on a Monday evening, and I got 100
Nice. What?
on a Monday.
On a Monday?
So no one tell me they can't. Committee meetings today, culture, today, growth, tomorrow, social, next Monday is tech. Please be there if you're on the committee. Francine,
Yes.
would you like to talk about it?
What
Or am
am I
I
talking about?
Oh, I'll talk about
You talking about? I'm talking about. Oh.
it. Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
okay. So
Sorry.
obviously we're well coordinated here, so. This is planned. This is planned. We have the international ALC approved a change to how commissions are done in command. And well, maybe you don't know because your TCs do it or your assistant do it, but when you put in your commission demand, it's defaulting that you're going to donate to KW Kids Can and KW Kids Care at a rate of $10 each, or a total of $20.
Let's do it.
Automatically when you start your commission demand. So if your assistant's doing it and they don't pay attention, you're donating $20.
Great.
Which appreciate it.
For me.
Which on the flip side of that, we have not gotten very many of these donations. So a lot of assistants and TCs out there
Are going and
calling
clicking
turning
0,
off.
turning
So
it off.
That's fine. It is an option, but it is there for you guys. I know a lot of agents have not seen this because they do not submit their commission demand request. This is an option on every single commission check. Just let your TC, your assistant know, hey, we're going to do this much per transaction. Hey, on this one, I'd like to donate this.
And we encourage this actually because we, as a culture committee, when we came together as ALC, one of the things that International was asking us is that we commit at least $5,000 each of those charities because they're giving out so much money as we have hurricanes and more events happening now. They're sending out a lot more money in fires. So all that fire that happened, campfire and all that, the KW Cares money went out that, right? KW Kids Can money goes to helping kids get into scholarships into, what's the class?
No, I'm sorry.
Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap. So they make a Quantum Leap class for teenagers, and this is how they post it across the nation to help kids grow. Yes.
What is the average commission check received right now?
Somewhere north of 12,000.
Our gross average commission is $12,000 and your people are clicking 0.
Can I make a suggestion, John? Maybe we could put out a text card that we could, to everyone in this Market Center and in Fair Oaks, to remind them about this, just in case they're not on this meeting today.
And trust me, we already have people wanting to request in our own office KW CARES funding as well for their situation. So this helps our own agents as well. So please consider donating. If your TC is clicking off, please let them know, hey, just keep it at 20 or whatever you want to do. That'd be very helpful. One of the committee's goals this year is to make sure that we're donating at least $10,000 to that portion from office as well.
And in addition to the, our office has received aid from KW CARES. There have been agents in this office who have had entire medical procedures paid through KW CARES, and including
brain surgery.
Brain surgery.
Yeah, aneurysm. So brain surgery.
Oh, wow. How much money do we have now, Arn, do you know?
Donated?
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's somewhere south of 500 for the year.
Well, that's
500 for the year. So please help us. All you have to say is don't do anything. Just say donate and continue. Push that button and you 20. We're talking 12,000 gross commissions. It's not you're not going to see it, right? So
Is that only when they first put the, we first go in, or can they change it anytime?
It can be changed on the back end at any time. When the commission demand is initially requested, that's when you'll see this screen that's up
if
there.
you don't request and want to change it, then you'll have to modify it. All right. So we love giving back. We just had Red Day. This is a good way to give back throughout the year, right? And it only happens at closing, so you're not out money. If you saw out there, they're doing free headshots. Lexi.
Yes. How is everyone doing today?
Yay!
Good. Awesome. I'm Jesse with Legacy Images. And now this doesn't necessarily concern anyone here specifically, but you ever met a realtor and they give you their business card and it's like blast from the past? You know, you're like,
Yes.
something happened there. So, not saying anyone here, but, you know.
Sam was like, John.
Bruce.
But if you're looking at your picture, you know, and you're not really recognizing what's on there, it might be time to update that today. So we're out there. We're going to be out there till 5 p.m. Stop on by anytime. Even if you didn't register ahead of time, we'll still be able to take care of you. No charge at all. So you can update your headshot absolutely for free. But aside from headshots, though, we also do take care of a lot of your listing media. So our whole entire mission is not to help you market your listings. We want to help you sell them. And the way we do that is with really high-end professional media, photos, video, 3D tours, and we do all of that with a next day turnaround. Because we don't want to keep you guys waiting, right? Usually photos is the only thing that holds you back from listing National House, right? It's the last thing you're waiting on. So we don't want you to wait much longer. We're Legacy Images. Our office is right down the street. We're neighbors. So come on by, say hello, and make sure to update your free headshot today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Real estate investing, Thursday, May 19th, generational wealth, passive income, tax strategies. Who needs some of this? They're going to be on here and here on Zoom. So I am teaching 6 personal perspectives. If you don't know what 6 personal perspectives, it is a KW class that I love, actually. It tells you how to go from being where you are to being where you want to be. It's about, and we talk about the 6 things you need to get, and I'm happy to teach those. I have taken these to heart in my life, and now I touch on it daily. So I love to teach that class. So we'll be doing 2 days, 23rd and 24th, 1 to 3:30, 3 one day, 3 the next day. And I hope to have you there. It's going to be a lot of great growth and learning. So. Amy on May 31st is teaching a disc class. That's awesome if you want to use it. First Step to Bold is here. Please register for First Step to Bold June 2nd. It's coming here, actually Elk Grove. But we're doing Bold, and want to sign up for Bold. Richard in Bold. Francine's doing Bold. We're doing Bold. So
Bold AF.
Gene Rivers is coming Wednesday, June 8th to Danville, but he's teaching Team 1. If you are thinking about building a team, you have a team that isn't quite the way you want it to be, anything like that, you need to show up to this training. We are carpooling down there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you were thinking of a team, even if it's just an assistant, you need to go to this training. He runs a massive team that's been successful for over a couple decades. You need to, he's going to teach you everything. All right, save the date, September 8th. We're having the Alchemy of Wealth. He's going to come in live and do an all-day class on the Alchemy of Wealth, how to take your money and become successful. Turn that into
Mr. Green, big pockets.
We have a great guest today. Pete Ruiz in 2021, 154 units closed, 189 million in volume.
Where's he at?
How's that sound? So Pete, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Sure, yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. So Pete, I understand you also have a special, you help run a special sports entertainment division in our KW here. So
No, I have a background in sports. I'm part of KW Young Professionals, but I know all the players in the sports and entertainment world. I don't do that with KW, but I do have a sports background. I played baseball once upon a time.
All right, awesome, man. So why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit, and then help us how you do your business and how you get your listings and how you get your volume like that. So
Sure. So I service the Central Coast of California, Carmel, Pebble Beach, Monterey. But we also have Salinas Valley, Carmel Valley, and then there's a couple other sleepy little towns, Seaside and Marina, where price points and affordability are, we go from $500,000 up to, we had a closing this year for 30 million in February. So it's and everything in between. So we're very diverse as far as pricing goes. But I've been in the business since 2015. Like I said, I played baseball professionally prior to that. And after I retired from baseball, I got into real estate. Pretty much doubled my business year over year. Year one, I did about 19 million in volume by myself, and then hired an administrative assistant, did 34 million the next year, 68 the next year, 120 the next year, and then last year we just did just under 200 million. This year we're on track to finish around 240 million. So obviously growth is going to get, the 100% year over year is going to start reducing when you start getting to these numbers, but we've been able to increase our business every single year. So, I had a list of questions here that were emailed to me that I actually thought were really good. And I kind of have my notes in here, so I'm happy just to go through these.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I think they're really good questions. So the first one was, where and how do you find sellers in today's market, and what are the biggest objections, and how do you have to overcome them? So I think I'll be very honest. It's, I'm very fortunate that my business personally is 99% inbound at this point. I mean, I should say 100%. I don't take any paid leads or online leads, anything like that. That all goes to my team. So my business is 100% referral based. But what I will say is that, how I got there was I built my business completely around expired and canceled listings, and FSBOs. We don't have a lot of FSBOs here, but I know other markets have those. But I was fortunate enough to have a one-on-one coaching session with Jason Abrams very early in my career. And he said to me, he goes, if I could give you a list of motivated sellers that want their home on the market and that don't have an agent or don't like their agent, would you call that list? And I said, well, yeah, it's a no-brainer. And he said, that's what expired and canceled listings are. And he taught me what those were. And I really dove in and rolled up my sleeves on those. And so my point is that if we're all paying attention, this market's starting to shift, and you're going to start to see the agents that, we've all been spoiled, throw a sign in the ground, 10 offers, over asking, blah, blah, blah. That's going to start going away. And we're seeing it, disappearing in our market currently. There's going to be opportunity for some canceled and some expireds, and agents that are pricing poorly and things are going to sit, there's going to be opportunity. So I recommend as a newer agent, that is the fastest, easiest, cheapest way to obtain listings and get yourself in the market. And the reason why most people don't do them is because however many people are in this room are listening right now, everyone says, yeah, that's great. They'll write it on a notepad. They won't do it. And everyone makes the assumption that, oh, there's an expired listing, they're going to get 15 calls. I can't tell you how many times I called and no other agent had called them that day. So don't make the assumption that everyone's going to be, peppering these expired and canceled listings with phone calls. They might get one or two. You'd be surprised. So my advice is learn your scripts and dialogues and attack that market, because there's going to be a lot more opportunity there. The second question was, what are your listing appointments and seller follow-up look like? How has it changed over time? What are your best tips to have sellers sign at the appointment? I do not ask sellers to sign at the appointment. That's not my approach. That's not my strategy. My approach at a listing appointment is connection first, house second. So I like to get on common ground, hobbies, where someone maybe is from or grew up, where they've traveled to, where they've been. Fortunately, with my baseball background, I can put myself in just about all 50 states in the country. I like to connect on a personal level first, and then we follow up and at the end of the appointment and kind of shore everything up regarding the property. I encourage all sellers that I sit down with to interview at least one more agent. And that goes a long way with potential sellers. They like the fact that we're gonna win that listing on merit, production, what we offer, and what we're about. So I kind of have a more laid back approach. And then the third reason why I don't try to have people sign at the appointment is because I really, we're very admin heavy, and I'll get into that later, but DocuSign is critical. I don't know if you guys, some Dotloop, whatever it is, but whatever digital platform you use to have people electronically sign, that's critical for us. And we have a much, much, much older demographic here, and we do not let anyone off the hook. I don't care if they're 90 years old, they're going to DocuSign. So what that does though is it's just, that's the bottom line. So what it does though is it allows me to follow up with them, right? So my approach is always, I never give a seller a price at the appointment. I've shot myself in the foot with that before. I do a CMA, I show up, and then they have $200,000 worth of upgrades I wasn't aware of, or the house is in horrible condition and we're following them around as they're showing us the house and we're scribbling out the CMA and handwriting. I always say it's a two-step process. Boots on the ground first, connect. I make the seller's interview to us, meaning, are you a good fit for us? This is how we operate. Are you going to be able to use technology? Are you going to be able to integrate in our systems? This is a team. This is teamwork. Are you a good fit for us? And that really flips the script from a seller saying, well, I'll let you have my listing if, to, no, I'll let you be our client if. And that's a very powerful dynamic. And you have to make sure that you have the credibility in the business to back that. But I make sellers sell to us. And then, like I said, the follow-up is the CMA and the pricing analysis to make sure that I get that right after I've seen the property condition and all the supporting characteristics. And that's when I follow up with the listing agreement and say, here's the listing agreement, please review it. This is the price, and away we go. So that's kind of my strategy there. How do you structure your business so that you're allowed, how did you structure your business so that it allowed you to scale to your current level? What systems do you have in place? So there's two forms of leverage, money and people. Bottom line, people are your biggest and most fruitful form of leverage. So you heard me say that after my first year, honestly, it was after my first 6 months, I hired an administrative assistant. Scared. Like, I was scared. I was like, I'm 6 months in the business and now I'm paying someone a salary. Like, this is crazy. But it really boils down to one thing for me, and I preach this to my team too, my sales staff, is you have to know what you are worth an hour. That is the bottom line. If you are docu-signing something or tagging something in DocuSign, or you're taking a lockbox, or you're ordering an inspection, to me, those are $20 an hour tasks, bottom line. And I'm worth $1,280 an hour. That's it. And so I'm not going to do that. My time is well better served and way more profitable being in front of the next deal. So what we've done is we've created a process where we've split it right down the middle, and there is no gray. It is split down the middle. And if you want to piss me off with my team, have the sales agents get involved in the admin stuff. I crucify my sales agents when they start doing stuff that's like, no, like stop. And I call it babysitting in escrow. And I bet everyone in that room can raise their hand and say they've done this before. We get into escrow, we get a listing, and what do? We just hyper focus on it because it's easy, right? Oh, and it's like, well, it's going to close and I'm going to make money. And so I call it babysitting it. And so instead of filling your pipeline, you're strangling this deal that you have. And then what happens? The listing goes into contract, the buyer goes into escrow, you feel good, you got a timeline, you're like, okay, I got business. And all this following up and everything you're doing, I'll get to how you're devaluing yourself in a second. But as you start approaching close of escrow, what happens? You start getting nervous. Oh crap, I don't have anything behind that. And then you get into this ebb and flow of like 2 or 3 deals, nothing. 2 or 3 deals, nothing. 90 days to ramp it back up, nothing. So we've split it down the middle. Admin does admin, agents sell. That is it. And so I get it right now that not everyone is going to have a full staff or a full team, but sit down, look at your net. I know everyone gets caught up in GCI. I don't care what you gross. What do you net? What do you take home? Look at your net and see if you can afford to hire someone or leverage someone to take the $20 an hour task off your plate. And the key to that is, what do you do with that time? Because if you go do, whatever, now you're going to go run errands or whatever else it is, and you're not generating more business, you're not going to grow. You're not going to scale. So for me, sometimes I do business a couple hours away from where I am. I hire a driver. It is not worth my time to drive for 3 hours and not be able to work. It's better to pay someone $300 to drive me there and back, sit in the back, and get 4 to 6 hours worth of work done. So my life has been broken down into minutes as far as what am I doing and what is that worth to me. So you've got to really start getting economical with your time and understanding what it's worth. And so going back to what I said on devaluing yourself, I look at it like this: $1 million escrow. Okay. At 2.5%, it's a $25,000 commission. Every hour that you spend on that transaction, managing it to closing, you are cutting your worth per hour in half. Meaning day one, you're worth $25,000 an hour. Every hour you put in, 12.5, 6, 3, 1,500, you're devaluing yourself every single hour that you put into that transaction. So our philosophy is this: when we get a listing signed or we get a buyer into escrow, it's a closed transaction. That's what we call it. It's a closed transaction because the administrative staff is taking that thing to the finish line. So just put that in the back of your mind, wherever you're at in your business, whatever it might be. If you want to grow, you have to leverage those numbers that are up there. I can't do that by myself. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
Pete, can I interrupt you real quick on that one? I just want to say this: if you're a single agent, I see this all the time because I interact with SB and the TC teams. A lot of you agents are grabbing onto that one transaction and strangling it, like you said, just strangling it, and like you're trying to manage the TC on it and spending all this time when you really should just let the TC do their work and go find more business, right? Instead of trying to strangle that one check, right? So even as your individual, you have ways to leverage. You have TCs, you have other people you can leverage stuff. Leverage them. Heck, you can even hire any new agent to go do showings for you if you wanted to, right? So so leverage yourself. There's options even as an individual, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, the big red book is obviously the Bible. And if you don't have that and you haven't read it, it's like, wake up, read it. It's like, it is the Bible. It is gold. And the most important part of that is, you know, think a million, earn a million, receive a million. And that's when you're doing it right, when you're receiving that compensation. So I will give you something to kind of take away here. Part of these 2021 numbers, I think I had about 6 or 8 listings that I didn't walk in the door, and I was the agent on, and I got full commission on that. And same goes for buyers. And if you put 2 people in a room and said, Pete, which one bought this house that you represented and closed, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one. So, and from the client's perspective, thrilled. 5-star review, amazing service, referrals, the whole 9. So it's possible, and I'll get into that a little bit more, but I'm just telling you that people shy away from leverage because they go, well, I can't remove myself. Yes, you can. It's all about the delivery. And I'll talk about that later. Okay, what have you found has been your most effective method of time blocking? How is your business leveraged so that you can stick to your time block? How do you set yourself up to not work on a Wednesday? So I talked about, you know, our team obviously being 100%, you know, structured as far as admin and sales. Time blocking was critical. So going back to those expireds, 9 to 11 for me is sacred time. I have a sign on my door. It's in red and it says, I don't exist until 11. And that's the truth. And I learned this from a guy named Craig Rieger. He's a mega agent in Oregon. He's kind of bounced back and forth between coaching and running his team, but he did this thing called 90 listings in 90 days. And they came up 4 listings short. They got 86 listings in 90 days. And the big takeaway that I got from this presentation was that if he didn't time block and lead generate from that 9 to 11 time period, he didn't do it later in the day, number 1. And 2, he wasn't filling his pipeline, and they started off slow. And then when they figured that out, that's when it took off. And the biggest takeaway for me was nothing in your file or with your clients is going to burn to the ground or happen if you don't get to them until 11 or noon. Meaning, how many times we get a frantic text at 9:30 or an email, oh my gosh, this is happening, but and then we just dive right into it. Okay, I got to go fix this. If you respond to that person at 11, if they reach out to you at 9:30, are they going to be furious at you? No. 1, it gives you credibility. In my opinion, you're busy. You're servicing other people. You're in high demand. Number 2, I can't tell you how many times they solve their own problems. Like I'd be in a meeting, get a bunch of texts, this and that, and it's like, oh my God. And then you get the text, it's like, never mind, figured it out. Wait. If you haven't figured out that this is the most highly emotionally charged business on the planet, figure that out. So good agents remove the emotion. And like I said, nothing catastrophic is going to happen where you're going to lose a client or lose a deal or something if you're lead genning at 10 and they reach out to you at 10 and you don't get back to them until 11 or 11:30. So understand that. And I really embodied that and embraced that and applied that to my business. Holy smokes. It took off. Because every single day I was getting, and by the way, 2 hours of lead gen is plenty. It's plenty. If you do it right, it's plenty. This BS about like, I'm going to lead gen for 6 hours. No, you're not. You're going to burn out. And then you're not going to do it the next day. 2 hours a day, bite it off in small chunks, be consistent, time block it. You don't exist until 11. Okay. So that's the biggest takeaway I could tell you right there. That changed my life and my business. What form of lead generation have you found most effective, and how did you find it, stick to it, and improve on it? What role does social media play in your lead gen, specifically Reels? I love that this came up. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be super blunt. Social media for real estate agents, as far as selling business or getting business from social media, is bullshit. I'm sorry, I swear. Sorry. It is complete BS. It's nonsense. Am I saying don't post on social media? No. Be relevant, be current, just listed, just sold, I'm doing an open house, whatever it is. But I think social media has enabled people to take the easy way out. And it kind of goes back to strangleholding that that escrow, right? It's like, it makes you feel good. Well, I posted on social media today, so I lead generated. No, you didn't. Nobody cares. Unless you're on $1 million listing and you have 2 million followers and this and that, nobody cares, right? Like we have, I mean, our numbers are up on the screen right there. I think we have 1,300 followers on Instagram. I think my personal Instagram, that's our business. I think my personal Instagram has the same thing. And most of them followed me because I was a baseball player. So here's my advice to you. I'm 34, I'll be 35 in August. I am an old soul. I am old school. Kick it old school with your lead gen, belly to belly and on the phone. That's it. I have 3 kids. I got a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. They call my kids the swipe generation. My 2-year-old can take my phone, tap the screen, swipe it left, hit 3-6 times because that's my passcode, open it up, swipe to an app, open it and play. He's 2. He's 2. If you haven't figured it out yet, that the human interaction is getting farther and farther apart, and it's text, it's email, it's I'll post on social media. There is no connection there. What was the first thing I said about how I win listings? I connect with people. People want to work with people they like and that they share common interests in. So understand that doing a reel is, it might seem like, well, they get to know my personality. No, they don't. It's not personal enough. So I use social media as a follow-up tool with my past clients. I make sure I add all my past clients and friends with them or whatever. I like a photo. It's a touch. I comment on a photo. It's a touch. That's how I stay in touch with my database. I don't want to send some garbage email and say, how you doing? It's been 3 months. How you doing? It's been 6 months. I just want to comment when they go to the beach and show a picture of their dog or wish them happy birthday, whatever. So that's what I use social media for. But this whole notion about I'll just post online and people know I'm a realtor and they're going to call me or direct message me and give me a listing is nuts. I think we did 1 deal last year from a private message from someone on social media. And it was like a $600,000 deal. It's just not practical. So if you're thinking that you're lead genning when you post online, you're not. Go have lunch with somebody, go have coffee with someone, ask them to come meet with you in your office, go to their house, go to their office, call them. And this is the takeaway from that. If you email me or text me and you're in sales, how easy is it to say no to that? Super easy. I can just delete your email and not respond, just not respond to your text, whatever it might be. It's really easy to say no to someone when it's digital. It's a lot harder when it's face-to-face, and it's a lot harder when it's on the phone and you've made that connection. So just take that into consideration when that, think about that, let that marinate. My notes say social media sucks. It's easy and people think, I said it's easy and people think it's a silver bullet. Okay, number 6, if you were to move to a new area, how would you how would you go about starting your business all over again? This gives me anxiety because my wife's from Boston. She's always like, we should move over there. I'm like, I would never, ever start over ever again. But if I had to, because I've done this once before and I'll do it again. Again, back to expireds and cancels, cold calls. In fact, I used to door knock expireds and cancels. I used to bring them a CMA. I used to handwrite a letter. I used to bring a package, and I hadn't sold anything. And I'm just like, here's who I am. Here's my bio. Here's my past. Here's what your house is worth. Handwritten note card, business card. I'd knock on the door. I'd drive 40 minutes sometimes, and people would be like, that's my sister is a listing agent. Like, we're going to relist with her. And I'm just like, but I got my first 3 listings because people were impressed that I knocked on the door. So that's how I started. And then eventually I started calling because I realized my time and the worth and value of my time and driving 40 minutes there and back, and to have someone say it's my sister's listing when I could have just called, that changed. But again, FSBOs, expireds and cancels. Now, here's the other thing, because I wrote this. This is very important. Old expireds, old canceled listings. It doesn't have to be that it canceled or expired yesterday or last week or last month. Call someone that expired in 2019. How easy of a conversation is it? Hey, I saw you listed your home in July of 2019 and I saw that it didn't sell. Are you aware that your home is worth 30% more than what it was worth in 2019? Oh yeah, I've been watching the market. It's been hot. Okay, great. What was the the circumstance in why you didn't relist your home? Oh, well, but again, you got to become a master of scripts and you got to do it. But I guarantee you, if you went through your MLS and you pulled 17, 18, 19, 2020, even 2021, that there's gold in those hills. And there are listings that expired or canceled that didn't relist that you could go get a listing on today. I guarantee it. So when I say expired and canceled, it doesn't have to be yesterday. Go back, right? And then the second thing is open houses. Again, what I say, belly to belly. Open houses are, I mean, it's like, hello, people are walking in interested in real estate that sometimes don't have a realtor and don't know what they're doing. So to me, it's open houses, it's expired and canceled, and it boils down to being on the phone, being belly to belly. Both of those are the same thing. So if I had to start over, God forbid, that's how I do it. And I say it that way because it's hard. It's not easy. But I built my business, and you could build your business too, because no one else is willing to do it. I was willing to do it when other people weren't. So it just kind of boils down to, are you gritty and can you can you have people hang up on you? Can you have people say no to your face? Can you handle it? And can you dust it off? Next. Last question. What do you do to ensure that you stand out from other agents? I love this. How do you make sure everyone knows why you stand out? It's as simple as this for me. If everyone is zigging, I zag. And I know that sounds cliche, but I'm glad I actually joined the meeting a little bit early and I listened to you guys talking about your average commission prices. So one of the big things that I've realized over the past 18 months as this market's been crazy is how many people are slashing their commission, right? It's like everywhere. Like, well, I'll do it for 2% because I'll just stick a sign in the ground. I'll do crappy marketing. I don't care. And I'll shave half a point, or I've even lost some listings because people were taking it at 1% and offering it out 2.5% or whatever. So I kept seeing this whole like discount. And I'm like, what's the opposite of that? And again, why are they discounting and why are they justifying the discount? Because it's like, well, I shouldn't say that. What are they doing when they give the seller the discount? They're not doing professional photography. They're not doing 3D Matterport. They're not doing videos. They're not doing what they should be doing to yield the seller highest and best, sales price. So I looked at it like that's lack of service, number one. And number two, everyone's devaluing themselves. So what we did over the past 6 months was we created what we call our commission package. And I kind of paired that with being tired of having the awkward conversation of like, well, what do you charge? And you're just like, do I throw out 6? Do I throw out 5? Do I lose? I don't want to lose a listing over half a point. So the first thing that came to my mind was, how do we earn more 6% commissions? And thought about it, came up with a package. I said, how do we earn 7% commission? Thought about it, came up with a package, and I said, and for 5%, I pay $500,000 a year in salaries for our team, just for our support. So I'm like, so for 5% for everything that we do, we're really devaluing ourselves. So I'm going to put a lot more on the seller at 5%. And so what they look like on paper is 5%. Here's what we do. Here's what the seller does. 6%, it's a little more equal. 7%, seller does nothing. It says, give us a copy of the keys and we do this. And what we do on all of our listings, and some agents bitch about it. I really don't care. If you don't like it, go get the listing. On 6%, we keep 3.5. On 7%, we keep 4.5. Because like I said earlier, I don't care about GCI. I care about your net. How much money are you taking home at the end of the day? So 2.5% for a buyer commission is industry standard. And on the 5%, no, we don't keep 3 and offer 2. It's 2.5, 2.5. But again, it's what we do versus what the seller does. So our 5% says I'm retired and bored. Our 6% says my spouse will do it. And our 7% says I know what my time is worth. And the best part is it takes all the pressure off of us as far as, well, what do you charge? Because we're talking about our team. Here's what we do, blah, 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 blah. Well, what's this going to cost me? You know what? You choose. It's going to cost you how much you want to be involved or how little you want to be involved. So that's an example of how I look at the market. And so the question was, how do you ensure that you stand out? I know that we do that because every time I put that commission package in front of a seller, they go, I've never seen this before. I've never even heard of this before. And they love the fact that they get to choose. So just because everyone's, slashing commissions and everyone's doing this and I go the other way. I just look at it objectively and I say, okay, what is the opposite of that? And does it make sense to be the opposite of that? And so by our actions, that's how we stand out. We're innovative and we try things differently. Everyone's going to say, I remember 3D Matterport, first person to use it in this area because every competitor of mine is a reptile. I'm telling you, they're like 80. And I was like, I'm using this thing. And so all the sellers were like, oh, this is weird. And I don't know. And I'm like, we're going to use technology. I don't care. Now everyone uses 3D Matterport, right? Everyone does, at least for where we are. I bought the camera, we had ourselves. So that was an example of, at that point in time, 15, 16, 17, 18, no one else was doing it. Everyone catches up. How do you differentiate yourself? So understand it's a constant tug of war. And the only way you're going to see it is if you're paying attention to it. So again, when you see the pack of sheep going this way, what does that way look like? Right. So, so that's how we do it. One of the things that we do, by the way, and just, kind of leave it at this, we do free staging. We do 100% free complimentary staging. I own a 4,000 square foot warehouse. It's packed with furniture. We have 2 box trucks. I have a staff of movers and we have an in-house interior designer stager. So every one of our 5, 6, 7% packages includes free staging. So that was another example where I knew how valuable and important staging was to make a listing successful and to sell it. And then everyone else starts using staging in my area and starts copying. And by the way, when you start becoming successful, everyone's going to copy you. Everyone's going to do it. So get used to it. So everyone started using staging. Well, then I didn't like the fact that, well, maybe the stager's 3 weeks out or 4 weeks out, or I don't have the inventory. I didn't control the process. So I wanted to be vertical. And so everything that we do, we try to take, anytime we outsource something third party, I look at that as a problem and we bring it in-house and we make it vertical. So again, standing out. Staging, a lot of people do it, right? It's a lot of people do it. But do a lot of agents basically own and operate their own staging company internally where I could literally have your house transformed in 3 days? Oh, and by the way, it's free. That's different, right? So you can differentiate yourself within a sector of the business without going to the complete opposite side of what I was saying earlier. Again, meaning everyone stages, but how do you stage it? Do you pick up the phone and call the same stage that everyone else does? Or do you do what we do? So you can differentiate yourself within certain sectors of the business. That's a good example of that. So
Thank you, Pete.
question.
I appreciate your time. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Any questions? I was like,
I do have a question, Pete. You have a team. What time do you meet with them daily? Do you do a daily huddle or what do you do?
We meet Tuesdays from 10 to 11 for 1 hour. And everyone, we use a program called Trello, which is an internal bulletin board, if you will. And all of our buyer escrows and all of our seller like pre-listings and all of our pre-listings, active listings, and listings that are in escrow live in that bulletin board internally. And so we have a listing coordinator and a buyer coordinator. They're basically an assistant to all of our agents, strictly for sellers, strictly for buyers. And they just update that platform every day at 9 and every day at 4. So for example, if it's a pre-listing checklist, order home inspection, Stephanie checks that box, red lines it, client gets emailed and agent gets emailed, and everyone's updated that it's been ordered and scheduled and it has a date and time. So again, we use a lot of technology to communicate with ourselves. Physically, we get together once a week for an hour, and my practice or my philosophy for that meeting is bring me problems. I want problems. If you guys don't follow a guy named Grant Cardone, follow him. He is brilliant. He's the 10X rule. I know that Gary Keller's talked about 10X. Grant Cardone is brilliant. I paid $30,000 for his sales training platform at the highest level. Best $30,000 I've ever spent in my entire life. I can tell you that right now. But that's one of his things. He goes, if you have problems, you're doing something right. So that's what that meeting is for. Bring me the problems, bring me the breakdowns, and then typically that forces us to adapt and grow and become more efficient.
And follow-up question to that, is each salesperson on your team doing 2 hours of lead gen from 9 to 11?
Honestly, I don't hound people like that. Like, I don't have I know some teams are very militant as far as this is what you have to do. This is blah, 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 blah. I just tell people, I'm the choice is yours. You can be as big as you want or as little as you want. My thing is, if you exist within my world, and you're not a problem, meaning no drama, no, you can follow our system to a T. You're not a polarizing person, and you can just march with us. That's all I ask. So I have agents on the team that do, I think our top producing agent does about 40 million individually. And then we have agents that do 5 or 6 million. I think we have 7 agents total outside of me. So we have so Tuesdays we have the team meeting with staff, and then Wednesdays, like today before this meeting, I had my sales meeting with my agents, and that's just an open dialogue about the market. What's the market doing? Are we going to be able to speak the language of what the market's doing? And then 2, again, bring problems. I love when agents say, hey, I was having a good phone call and they asked me this question and I choked. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So we do a little bit of script and dialogue stuff. But again, when it comes to the lead gen, it's on them. It's there's opportunities everywhere. Open houses, you bet. Leverage our listings. One guy sells or gal sells a $30 million house. We all did. So I preach it. I say I lead gen from 9 to 11, and if you want to be successful, great. But if agents come to me and go, "Well, I'm not doing what I want to do, or my business isn't what I want it to be," then we have those conversations. But I think people, back to baseball, there's guys that we call them in baseball managers. We call them players managers. Those were guys that played, that had been through it, that got it. We said they had feel, right? They have feel. And so what I mean by that is they kind of just let everyone do their own thing, and they realize that there's certain things that make certain people successful. And when you try to put everyone in a box, it might not be most beneficial for everyone. So I preach it because it works for me, but it might not work for everyone else. And so I'm not a dictator and militant about, well, if you're not lead genning from 9 to 11, you can't be on the team. So that's my approach on that.
All right. Hey, Pete, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate a lot of great insight there. Thank you, everyone. Also, you can find Pete. He's just down here in California on the Central Coast, so you can find him pretty easily. Have a great day. Go sell. And if you have any questions, we're always here for you. So thank you, Pete. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.